Hello, everybody. My name is Dread, and this is Miss Valley Entertainment News. Today, we're going to talk about another YouTube site that tends to do gaming entertainment type news, called Bellular News. You may have heard of Bellular News. You may have seen them. They are quite popular, quite well respected. But I have called this video the downfall of Bellular News because I believe some of the recent takes are going to get them in such hot water, it may be the death of their channel if they continue down this path. So let's talk about Bellular News. I'm on their YouTube page here. Their about says game news, in industry coverage, features, and documentaries. Our focus is on accurate and interesting coverage. Specifically from the angles other medias and channels won't touch. Really? Because it seems like they're going with the crowd, the popular crowd. Let's get behind what's popular for gaming companies to do if we don't want to get canceled by the people who finance our games. Industry, business, and history, game design, monetization, and more. They do have 331,000 subscribers. They've got 1,300 videos out. They've got 11 million views. Since 2015, they are from the United Kingdom. This is what their page looks like, their videos and stuff. And the venture capital threat people haven't noticed is the video we are talking about. And specifically, we're going to be reacting to a video by Geeks and Gamers. My apologies if you don't like Geeks and Gamers or whatever. You have some kind of thing against them. I don't mind them. I think sometimes their shtick is over the top, but they do have some good coverage of things anyways, and this is one of those areas where I think the coverage is quite good, quite reasonable, so I'm going to cover this. We're going to react to this video. This video is called Gaming YouTubers Protect Kotaku and Sweet Baby Inc. Gamergate 2 Insanity. As you can see, there's a lot of likes here. Anyways, well, they've had 2,752 views. This video has only been out for 34 minutes at this time, so 476 likes is pretty good in 34 minutes. Anyways, getting ahead of myself. The link to the original video will be down below if you want to check that out for yourself as well, and I encourage you to do so. If you like what Geeks and Gamers are about, then you may want to subscribe, or at least you may want to keep an eye on their channel from time to time. Like I say, I think they are over the top in a lot of things they do, and they do a lot of things that are made to be attention-getting and headline-grabbing for views. A lot of different sites out there do that. They're certainly not the only one, but I also believe that they do cover things, and at times cover things very fairly, and I think this is a very fair coverage of this. So let's get into this here video and my reaction to it. Here we go.
And respecting your audience is the key to moving forward in independent content creation, and many people continue to fail that miserably.
That is true.
Bellular
listen to your audience.
News, Bellular Gaming, a pretty big YouTube channel with a really big following. A lot of people respect them. I've covered Bellular News videos before. By the way, I do want to point out they are also a game developer themselves. They have put out at least one game that I'm aware of. So when they talk about the industry, A, they're partially on the inside of that industry to talk about it, but B, they're also on the inside of the industry, so you are going to get a different view. That's good and bad, so take that into account. I've been watching Bellular for a while, and they have absolutely stepped into it today, and they simply needed to just listen to their audience, and instead they have decided to keep doing the very thing that got them in this position to begin with. Now, Grums tweeted out a screenshot of their really, really bad take on the entire Kotaku situation.
So this is talking about their blatant disregard, Kotaku's blatant disregard for journalism. It's very clear leadership wants to undermine the people who make these sites special and replace their work with slop. Anyway, so as it says here from Grums, what they tweeted was, Bellular covers the Kotaku shift to gaming guides carefully sidesteps mentioning any of the current controversy. And if you don't know, Kotaku is a gaming site that covers gaming, that is gaming journalism, that is very much in hot water right now for, well, I mean, right now, but over the years, but especially it's coming to a head now for absolutely trashing gamers and basically saying gamers are all pieces of shit. We don't need to listen to them. They need to listen to us, and pushing agenda after motherfucking agenda. Excuse my language. And then he goes on to laud the Kotaku journalism. Not surprising. Bellular News almost always has a positive take on everything. If all you want is a positive news, then maybe you want to go and check out Bellular News. I'm not going to tell you not to. However, sometimes having popular news and positive news, not popular, but probably that too. Sometimes having positive news like this requires you to shut your eyes very, very tight and jam your elbows in your ears and ignore all the negative stuff that is still there. Don't pass it on. Don't let anybody else know about it. Don't speak of it. Ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. And live in a fantasy world, which is what it appears Bellular News is doing currently.
And he simply said, Bellular covers the Kotaku shift to gaming guides, carefully sidesteps mentioning any of the current controversy. And that's exactly what happened in this video if you watch through it.
And I say it that way because Kotaku has really, it seems anyway, to have been a very shit place to work for ages. And I think often not because the editors-in-chief, more because of the, corporate mandates that are being thrust upon them. And look...
But forget what Grums has to say. Forget what I have to say. What does the audience have to say that watched the video?
Very important.
And there you have it, a massive ratio from their own audience. And of course, if you look at the comments, it's just as bad. People are really not happy with this take. So how did Michael from Bellular respond? Well, he quote tweeted Mark Kern, and he said this right here. What the fuck are you on about, Mark? And it's just like, when you start out with that, it's such a bad way to address this. And of course, Mark Kern responds and says, it's accurate, Bellular Gaming. You sidestepped around Kotaku's recent controversies. That was a huge factor to the Geo Media's decision to switch to gaming guides, the topic of your video.
So something that was completely led up to what they're talking about on Bellular's video. They're Kotaku switching to gaming guides, switching from journalism to just gaming guides. He completely ignored the number one reason that happened, which was because of all their recent controversies and the amount of people who have gone and attacked them after being getting tired of being attacked by Kotaku and by and their site, and by being lectured how they're not good enough as gamers to understand the fine points of society that Kotaku apparently does, as they, smoke their pipe and wear their smoking jacket and have their feet in their slippers up and look out the window and watch the horses run by, right? Fucking piece of shit, people. Excuse me, my real thoughts coming out there. All right, so yeah, they have completely ignored the reason they switched to gaming guides. And just be talking about, what a great decision this is. Oh, it's so wonderful. Kotaku's so great. Oh. It's fucking pitiful. It is fucking pitiful. The spineless people out there who are either so afraid to speak their actual mind that they refused to, or are I don't even know. They're not afraid to speak their mind, then they are so out of touch with the very audience that actually listens to them. Kotaku, Bellular News, so completely fucking out of touch that they think that they're better than them and can shit all over them and lie to them. I don't understand. This is why I say the gaming industry, although there are nuggets out there that are, there's hope for the gaming industry. There is, right? There's some great games that came out. There's some great gaming companies that are doing things. There's some great small gaming companies doing amazing things. But as a whole, the gaming industry is absolute fucking shit right now. It is fucking terrible. It is being driven by agenda after agenda. No one cares about the games. No one cares about the gamers. No one cares if they make money. They just want to change society and fuck it all up for everybody. I don't understand it. It's a mental illness. That's all I could guess. It's a mental illness. Anyways, I'm going to shut up for a bit.
He continues on. The number 2 traffic article on Kotaku was the hit piece on Kabrutus that lit a fire.
Kabrutus was the guy who started the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam page. So, it was listing all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. Was involved in, just for people who wanted to know. And then that Sweet Baby Inc. then attacked and tried to get that person canceled off the internet. Blah, 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 blah.
Storm that everyone on the internet and gaming journalism seems to have noticed, but you, the senior editor, used this fact to help keep Kotaku focused on gaming articles a little longer and delay the guide shift. Many people feel, including your own very busy comment section, that this hit piece article precipitated the demise of Kotaku. And it's just
that's relevant to your video. Also, other things relevant to your video that he never goes and gets into, and I don't have Twitter, so or X or whatever, so I can't go check that out. But it says these are all topics highly relative to your video, but you never talked about them. Instead, spent the first half of your video talking about why Kotaku's journalism was good and important and worth saving, and then there would have been a big list of other things that were highly relevant but never covered. Instead, it's like you're on your knees under the desk trying to get a job. You don't get the reference, that's all I can say.
just unbelievable how out of touch some people are with this situation. And the more you started to look into this, the worse it started to get, because there were people that were actually looking at it, and one comment even said, "At first I was understanding the Kotaku's downfall isn't tied to the latest incident, but then I noticed fellow traveler, the publisher of your game, is in the SBI client list. Makes sense why you would omit mentioning them."
Oh! So the publisher of Bellular News' game, the game they put out, the publisher of that game is on the Sweet Baby Inc. client list. So why would they not want to talk about Kotaku's links to the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff and all the stuff that Kotaku did to support Sweet Baby Inc., which got all the people so fucking angry at them, which ended up causing their shift away from gaming journalism to gaming guides. By the way, I'm going to put right out there, their gaming guides, to me, are worth toilet paper and nothing more. Don't want anything to do with it. So it makes sense why you would omit mentioning them. Burn! Burn! Truth hurts. Thank you, Antti-Savolainen.
Michael responded and says, "They've had zero involvement with us, and I didn't know they existed until very recently."
Who said very little involvement with you? Who has had little involvement with you? Fellow Traveler? No, they've had a lot of involvement. They put out your fucking game. Sweet Baby Inc.? Well, maybe you've never sat there and talked to them. I don't know. But the people who put out your game certainly have. And I bet you thought, if I talk about Sweet Baby Inc. and the people who put out my game aren't happy, that could be really bad for me.
I just didn't think that had part to play in the VC media story. And this person just said, "Understood." Again, if you
grow some balls, Bellular, grow some fucking balls, or get a clue.
You are covering gaming news on a consistent basis, as Bellular does, and they've done a great job of it over the last few years. But if you are covering gaming news on a consistent basis, how do you not know about Sweet Baby Inc.? Now, again, to normies and average people out there, I have been hearing about Sweet Baby Inc. for over 6 months, it feels like now. Now, a lot of that stuff was people in my comment section or people on the internet just having the discussion, but it was a lot. There were a lot of people talking about Sweet Baby Inc. Regardless of any of that, if you just did find out about Sweet Baby Inc. after Sweet Baby Inc. Detected group and the Steam group was created, you should have been covering this. This is something that if you are covering gaming and you want to be taken seriously as an independent media source, you should be covering it. And okay,
let's back up for a minute, because I want to go back and read all those comments that came across the screen. So let's do that right now. It's not concentrating on what is being said audio-wise. I want to concentrate on
Sweet Baby Inc. Now again, to normie.
Okay. It says, 99% of games media seem to hate the people who actually buy the games they supposedly cover. So no one has any sympathy, really. I would agree. The games media seem to think they are the fucking elite and that gamers are fucking scum. And if you have not picked up on that, you've been living under a rock and not paying attention.
And average people out there.
Calling Kotaku a games media is like saying Hollywood is a safe work environment. Absolutely fucking true, man. Absolutely true. Anybody following the P. Diddy, the Sean Puffy Combs drama right now? Man, this guy is going to jail for the rest of his effing life, which probably won't be very long. And people have known about the shit he's been doing for 30 years. 30 years, nobody bothered to bring the hammer down. Let me tell you right now, I think this came out that they are arresting him, that they are going to charge him, the whole deal, and shut down his whole filthy, dirty operation, okay? The whole reason this happened is because we need to get people's eyes onto this so they stop looking at something else. I'm not sure about the timelines. My thought that could be worrying about the get people not thinking about the Baltimore Bridge. Maybe it was something else. I don't know where the timelines fit for those two things that works, but something. It's we decided to move on this now because we need to get people's attention off of something else. That's the way the government does things. Not just in the USA, all over the place. Happens in Canada too.
I have been hearing about Sweet Baby Inc. for over 6 months, it feels like.
This person says, it's all self-inflicted. I have no sympathy. Absolutely. If you're going to be a stupid ass, you're going to pay the price eventually.
Now, a lot of that stuff was people in my comment section or people on the internet.
This person says, bro, you are giving defense for Kotaku, a site that hates consumers of video games and has run some of the most insane rage bait drivel ever. Wow. Just wow. This is the people who regularly watch Bellular News. This is the people who are, like signed up for this stuff. These are the people who would normally be supporting what Bellular's got to say. And they are turning on them, and rightly so.
At just having the discussion, but it was a lot. There were a lot of people talking about Sweet Baby Inc. Regardless of any of that, if you just did find out about
it says, nah, just big corporate games media. They aren't agile enough to get consumers what they want. Games media is dominated by individuals now, and that's why these corporations are blaming the consumer for their failures. Games media is dominated by individuals now. Interesting. They don't have complete control over the narrative anymore. Never trust the opinion of an organization, only individuals who you feel have earned it.
About Sweet Baby Inc.
Don't know if I agree or disagree.
Sweet Baby
No,
Inc.
no
Detective
idea.
Group and the Steam group was created. You should have been covering this. This is something.
The defense you're running for Kotaku this video is mind-blowing to me. They unintentionally ran bad titles. What? Bellular said about Kotaku they unintentionally ran bad titles? No. They intentionally ran Gamers Are Dead, Gamers Don't Need to Be Your Audience 10 years ago, and hundreds more such inflammatory, industry-damaging, subversive, decisive titles purely for their own ideology and profit via rage bait. They are a disgusting cesspool. Along with so much other large games media has caused so much, well, we won't know because we can't click on the read more.
That if you are covering
damage, I'm guessing,
and you want to be taken seriously as an independent media source, you
want to read that. I want to read that last one. The villain of this story is the games media itself. For too long, they have done what they wanted without consequences, and the whole game media outlets have become terrible thanks to that. That is true. That is true. Okay, let's get back into what they're talking about now so we can get through the rest of this video.
You should be covering it. And okay, fine. Maybe it slipped through the cracks. Maybe you didn't know about it. Maybe it wasn't on your radar. Well, now it is. Why are you covering the Kotaku situation, but actively dancing around the true issue at hand? That's really what the biggest problem here is in that video.
Defending Kotaku is the quickest way to lose your credibility with gamers. Well said, Jur 1776. Well said. And this is why I say if they continue to take this stand, they will lose so many subscribers and so many viewers. They will be butthurt for months. This could be the death of Bellular News if they are not extremely fucking careful and dance their way back from this cliff very, very swiftly. Very.
If you watch it, there is more dancing than I've ever seen around.
Says LOL Games Media. None of these sites have been games media in a decade. Kotaku's journalism integrity is still missing. Thank you, Marco.
The actual problem at hand. And they're basically blaming everyone but the people that are truly responsible.
Yep, that's normal. Says you guys really playing them as a victim and skipping over that much of the actual story?
Which is the garbage people that are part of Kotaku and their writing team right now.
Says, how about you actually read and talk about that IGN article slandering the Stellar Blade game developers about never seeing a real woman? Meanwhile, the director is Korean, married to a Korean woman. That woman is one of the lead artists, and they used a real Korean model for the main character. Doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter to people with agenda. They just want to push their agenda and yell and scream and get changes. Doesn't even fucking matter what the change is after a while. They just want to control you and control everything.
Now, they don't mention any of them. They're basically blaming everyone else but them, and that is a huge problem.
So when Kotaku goes away, nothing of value will be lost.
For the entire audience. Now, at this point in time, Bellular has done a lot of good work, and I'm not going to completely throw them under the bus at this point in time. But
I've liked some of their articles. I've disliked others, so I'm on the fence with them. Some of the stuff I just find too technical and boring for myself to actually get through. So I pick up an article here and there and read it and maybe agree with it, maybe don't. Maybe turn it off after 5 minutes because I just like, what the fuck are they talking about? I have no clue. It's over my head. I'm not a game developer. Don't get what they're talking about, right? Or I'm not involved on whatever it is they're talking about. Whatever gaming company, I don't even know who they are. You know, all that kind of jazz. But I do find some of their stuff interesting. I will say that. But this has turned my stomach and turned it hard. And I really hope that they sincerely walk back from this, do a public apology, and change their tune on Kotaku, change their article, or put out another article where they actually cover this in great detail, what's going on. And if they don't, then I hope they utterly, absolutely fail. Because it's deserved. It's cause and effect, man. What you do comes back to you.
they do need to get a grip on this entire story, and they need to get a grip fast because they have been respected for a long time for the way they have approached covering things. And right now,
calling Kotaku anything other than a gaming activist group is doing disservice to proper game journalists. Hear, hear.
now this is heading towards a potential G4 situation in terms of, are you going to continue?
Kotaku dug their own grave. I'll be happy to see them lie in it. It wasn't capitalism. It was their failure to function as a capitalist entity that did them in. You don't antagonize people. You want to provide traffic to your site and then somehow profit.
Continue to blame your audience? Because if you're, and I'm not saying they're going to just shut down completely like G4, but I mean, are you going to blame your audience, or are you actually going to listen to them?
Cabrutus, Steam Curator, Sweet Baby Inc., Chris Kindred, openly racist to white gamers.
That is what this comes down to. So the Sweet Baby Inc. story continuing to create waves all through the internet. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for
Again, I think this is a very good take on this. I'm sorry if I got a little heated over it, but it pisses me off when someone is willing to flush their reputation away just in order to lie to people and cover up shit. I don't like that. So let's take a look at this video here.
Welcome back, everyone. So here's the deal.
I'm not going to link this video. I just want to take a look at their comments and see what else is here. So a lot of the same stuff we already saw. Okay. Yep. Sorry, but I think you are defending the villain, not the victim. Hi, Bellular. I think you did not go over the constant gaslighting these gaming media sites participate in. Bad actors, writers, race baiting, and actively having racist viewpoints. I respect your coverage, but feels as though there is uneven coverage in this video. Krogman, 1993. Well put. Lack of ethics will cost them dearly. Bellular, the reason we watch you, the reason you average 100,000 views is because we don't trust games media. Running defense for them, playing them off as the victims only does one thing. It means we lose trust in you. Rest in piss, Kotaku, not taking Geo's side, not discounting the actual journalism rarely popping out of the site, just celebrating the FAFO and the rise of independent media. Defending Kotaku, seriously, good luck. You just stepped onto a landmine, completely voluntary too. Says gaming journalism is so bad at serving the audience they claim to serve, I haven't touched their sites or publications in nearly 20 years. It's kind of weird when Michael, from Bellular, obviously avoids a giant piece of context to the entire thing as if it doesn't exist. You are stretching real hard not to talk about the obvious. Daily Beast and Kotaku and all who work for the two are human filth at best. Maybe if they weren't so extremely politicized and very antagonistic to their audience, aka gamers, they wouldn't be dying as they are right now. F them all, Mr. Bell. After years of selling out and pushing the message, I find it hard to care about them. For a publication that would always point the finger at its readers as part of the problem, I do not have sympathy for such companies. Let them type out all their guides till their fingers fall off and they have to sign up for unemployment. Don't defend Kotaku, bro. They've done so much damage to the industry and are very racist. These people hate the industry as a whole, from the games to the people who make them, and especially the people who play them. Their loss would be the equivalent of excising a cancerous tumor. They made themselves irrelevant when they decided to work against the interests of the people who make their business profitable in the first place. Ever since Kotaku became synonymous with trash writing, this was the only inevitable outcome. You have to have drank stupid juice to actually defend Kotaku, considering how much of a clown show they have been since, well, almost since forever. For the last 10 years attacking, demonizing gamers, no sympathy from me. Gaming journalism died the moment it turned to activism. Seriously, good riddance to the journalists who use gaming sites as their own personal blogs. Nobody likes reading about how bad they are from people who totally despise them when they're just looking for gaming news or guides. Says, quote, they have been happy to go on a more opinionated angle. Just say it, Mike. They firmly planted both feet on one side of the culture war to the extent that their recent articles deliberately omit key details to skew opinions. Kotaku is a meme. Remember MagFest and the 404, Kotaku's journalism integrity? I normally wouldn't celebrate people being replaced by AI, but at Kotaku's circumstance, I'm completely fine with that. 2.3 thousand likes, 2.8 thousand dislikes. Congrats, you're alienating your audience and leaving out context for the matter at hand. You're well on your way to being a real games journalist. Dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Kotaku's journalism was toxic clickbait, and Kotaku has become a joke among gamers. You might want to spend more time with actual gamers and less with industry leeches. Where are the comments saying, thank you for this, Bellular, what an excellent article? Where are the comments, hey, I totally agree with what you said, Bellular? Where are the comments about, hey, how great Kotaku is? I'm just reading through all of these. There's none of that. We will miss so much being called Nazis by those journos with friends at Sweet Baby Inc. Last place I expected to find a puff piece on Kotaku, but here we are. They're in the process of getting everything they deserve. Using artificial intelligence to replace Kotaku's natural stupidity seems like a net positive. With all the lying, harassing, and backstabbing, thank God. Imagine trying to paint Kotaku journalists as these paragons of gaming journalism after the shit they have done in just past months alone. Kind of shocked for someone doing journalism. You kept quite a bit out about Deadspin and what really sank them. I don't really know much about this, but it says corporal line chasers are indeed a cancer to our hobbies and society, but defaming a child who is simply trying to enjoy a sports game, which is why Deadspin is being gutted, is completely unforgivable, and why outlets like Deadspin need to go. Kotaku has been a plague to gaming since the early mid-2010s with their rhetoric. They deserve to be told to do the one thing they never want to do, write articles for gamers. Says, no, it's not. Activists are being fired. True Games Media has been on YouTube for a long time now, as you yourself are proving, sir. Move along. Nothing of value is lost. 100% self-inflicted. Don't defend the activists. Michael never talking about the elephant in the room while trying to address the ramifications of the issue is worrisome. Is he actually going to read his comments? I guess he fears losing something by picking a side here. Well, he won't have to worry about losing his balls because apparently he doesn't have one. Games Media is not being gutted. Legacy Games Media is being gutted. No one's going to sell Kotaku. No one considers Kotaku of value anymore. The issue is their search for hate clicks destroyed their relationship with their audience. They alienated their audience so people left. Also, it's likely Kotaku was propped up by venture capital and was never profitable. Makes you wonder if Bellular has a conflict of interest considering they have their own writers and news. The dodging of the political side of the story is certainly worrisome. Kotaku, Error 404, journalistic integrity not found. Dusk, nicely put. Okay, I'm going to end it right here, people. That's what I've got. Again, I'm not going to link the Bellular news stuff. If you want to go search for it, go ahead. But I will link the Geeks and Gamers video here. Thank you all for letting me rant a little bit and talk about the cancer that is Kotaku finally semi going away, and talking about people covering up for it that shouldn't be and that would have just lost a lot of respect in the gaming community because of it. From Miss Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread. Hopefully one of these videos soon will be a positive one again. Bye, everybody.